as well.
Me too.
With the Mandalorian even, which of course, which of
you know
course
what's
happened.
interesting? I think it happened to me when I was reviewing something with with Star. It was something with Star Wars, but because it's Disney. They're a stream suspended for policy. That's all right, but they can still phaser's not set to stun. Here, I brought my pad. I'll see if I can try to hack in the system.
Oh yeah. Can you guys can still hear us though, right? Let me know in the chat.
Yeah.
I think it will refresh and our video will come back.
Yeah.
Without having to redo the stream, because I had that happen with my Boba Fett. It came back and we were still live, and then I sure hope this happens because otherwise I don't want to reload the stream.
Yeah. Let me see. It should. Hold on, because it's happened to me before too. Let me keep refreshing it. Oh, we're back.
Are we back?
We're back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're back. We're back, guys.
We're back.
All right.
Stars. All right.
So they're just like, no, you can't show anything. Yeah. It's like, really?
I know. Yeah. The ℎ𝕸𝔻𝐿. Okay, you're back.
You probably can if you let it run more than like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
But no, we're good. We don't have to quit. We don't have to quit.
I rerouted the signal, folks, so we're back.
Yeah. You've got the pad.
I got the pad.
Yeah.
We're good.
A new channel in subspace.
We're good. Yeah. We're good.
All right, we're all back. Everybody's saying we're back. We're all back. Yeah, it's just whatever. So we're not going to do that. That's fine. I'll remove these.
How many episodes of Picard do we have left? Is it 8 episodes or is it 10? I
think they're doing 8. Okay. I don't know.
I don't know. Anybody in the audience, it's either 8 episodes or 10. And I'm assuming everything's going to get wrapped up on the very last episode, and there's going to be a lot of loose threads, just like the first season.
There's 10. There's 10.
Okay.
According to Google anyway. There's 10 episodes. They already finished filming season 3 though. It just wrapped.
It's bonkers.
So they did back to back.
Well, they had to. They don't know how long Picard's going to stay alive. I mean, Stewart's going to.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're actually at the halfway mark now. Then we've got 5 down. I still need to catch the last 3, but so 5 down, 5 more episodes to go.
Yeah, 9 too many. Nerd Doomcock.
Right, too many are left.
Yeah, they're bad. They're. I can't defend it. It's just I'm watching it because I grew up, and some of these episodes in like First Contact. I saw that in theaters. First Contact was one of the last times we, as a family, my brothers, my sisters, my mom, we all used to go to the movies together as a family. And then something happened like in the 90s and we all just like stopped talking to each other. We all went to a movie. But I remember First Contact in 1996 was one of the last times in my family, all of us went together to the theaters to see this film. My mom was a huge Star Trek fan. She loved Star Trek First Contact. Not to mention, it was the first time we got to experience stadium seating in a movie theater. That was brand new back in 1996. Stadium seat in the theater. So it was watching Patrick Stewart, watching Whoopi Goldberg, even though she looks like a hot mess, I still enjoyed watching her. And it's crazy because they're both super old, but I got goosebumps listening to Whoopi Goldberg fall back into the role.
Yeah, me too.
I got goosebumps. I really did. It's not the best way to introduce her, but it's that surreal. It's like, oh my God, it really is Guinan, like the way it's her. And even Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9, she says it was one of, of all the projects she's ever done, it's the best experience of her life, that fans appreciate her. She's done other projects, she's done films, Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9, but Star Trek is the one that the community hugs her, treats her like a family. And it's ironic though, because if you know the backstory, she tried to distance herself from Star Trek because she had a role in Star Trek Nemesis. Did you know this?
I did not. I know.
Yes,
like they originally had planned to have her in there, but she never was.
She was in the original, one of the first drafts of Star Trek Nemesis. Jared, 7 of 9, was going to be as a liaison on board the Enterprise E, and that whole backstory of Counselor Deanna Troi being violated. It was her that was going to be being violated by the Picard and
yeah,
by the
cloner.
Remus and the what's his name? Not Remus.
Shinzon?
She's
Well,
on.
Shinzon was
Shinzon,
clone.
where he was on a quest for ultimate power and to create the most deadliest prey bird of his ship. He knew the advantage of
The scimitar.
Of the scimitar of taking the Borg nanites and enforcing making his ship even more powerful. And she didn't want to do it. She felt that she was going to get typecast. And so she avoided it. She said, fine, you don't want to be in Star Trek Nemesis. It altered the story, and it essentially could she have saved Star Trek? Because everybody says that Nemesis is what killed it. Maybe. It was a different. There was that subplot, the first draft that with her and the chemistry and the dialogue with her and Picard, it would have been very, very interesting. And
that would have worked very well now in the new Picard show. Even.
Wouldn't that? Think about it. If Picard
this
and
kind of
Seven of Nine had that exactly, it would have flowed better into Picard now. But they're shoehorning. She's in it because she's still one of the more popular characters from that era. And shame on her. I always get mad at her. I'm like, you turn your back thinking you didn't want to get typecast in Star Trek. And now that your career's dried up, now you're crawling back to the family with open arms because she knows we'll still love her. She just knows that.
Yeah.
She knows
That was Tasha Yar.
Yep.
All over again.
There you go.
Denise Crosby,
There you go.
And we can touch on that, but Combat Evolve, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, how many lights did Picard see when interrogated?
There you go.
I think anybody who doesn't even watch Trek should know that by just the memes.
Yes. 4 lights. Was it 4 lights? There are 4 lights. 4 lights.
Such a good episode. Chain of Command, Part 1 and 2, Season 6. Episode, 17 and 18? I could be wrong. I'm a little rusty. Close enough. Thank you so much, Combat Evolve. And it is. And Tasha Yar, same thing. Right? Denise Crosby was like, you know what? I'm going to go on and do movies. I'm in Pet Sematary. I don't need to be on a television show.
That's right.
Career just flatlined. And, fortunately for her, she was brought back. Yesterday's Enterprise. She was Sela, the Romulan commander, the daughter of Tasha Yar from back when Yesterday's Enterprise, that whole spiel with the Enterprise C coming back. And, at least they were able to put her back in, but she could have been there. She could have been there the whole time. I think that could have worked out for her.
And I mean, I don't know if you want to call her a hypocrite, but she still does the Trek circuit, charging for autographs for something. Yeah. So for something that she didn't believe in, you're still doing those Trek circuits, aren't you? Selling your autograph.
I did a pre. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, ℚ𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐻. Picard's literally an old man android now. They seem to have forgotten about that come season 2.
Yes.
Yeah. That is also true.
Yeah.
There you guys go.
That's right. They don't even want to talk about that. They don't even want to say that. He is. Well, what's the word they use? He was like a token, or they didn't call him an android. It was like a empty body corpse type deal.
Some type of synthetic
humanoid. It's bonkers.
I couldn't get behind. That was my issue with season 1. I had a problem with season 1 and the tropes that they did, and then they basically pulled a Mass Effect. I know you don't play a lot of games, but the Mass Effect video game, it was weird. It felt like they kind of copied a lot of it. And of course, they had to have the giant monster from the sky trope, the light, and that kind of irked me. And you guys are right. Like, they kind of forgot about this whole I'm now Golem, exactly. Yeah.
Golem. There you go.
So Jason's Trek, hey, how you doing, my friend? He says, I've been happy with the new season of Picard so far. That's awesome. I mean, if people can find enjoyment in it, it's a little hard for me. Just because, TNG was so good, right? And then you're like, can you even do better than TNG? And then arguably, I'd say they did. Not maybe better, but just on that same level with Deep Space Nine. The writing on Deep Space Nine was amazing. The ensemble cast, the giant arcs, the Dominion War, everything was so cool. The hero's journeys from even from like Damar turning into a hero for Cardassia. So many cool nuances that still played on like morality and ethics, you know, with Cisco and Pale Moonlight. Like, what am I going to do to win this war? How far will I go? Things like that. It's just,
that was some good writing. That's
yeah.
You
know,
that's some good shit. Yeah. I'll play that in the background too when I'm working on model kits. Yeah, that's another Deep Space Nine. I can just have that on repeat. Yeah,
always. Yes, Reapers, exactly. Mass Effect. So
I hate to say it though, with Deep Space Nine though, it really took off to like when they brought Worf. I mean, they got Worf on
season
there.
4, Way of the Warrior.
Yeah. By coincidence, that's when we got 7 of 9 too.
Yeah. Well, Kes just wasn't doing it for Voyager. Jennifer Lynn. It was okay, but it had a weird kind of creepy vibe. Her and Neelix, and they didn't really find much to do. I mean, Neelix at least became a morality officer / cook. Well, what was Kes doing? Oh, I'm gonna make a aeroponics bay for us so we can grow our own vegetables.
Yeah, and she was a tough one to write for.
That's kind of boring. How about we, restore a Borg? Restore their humanity. That sounds pretty cool. Let's do that. Cool. Like,
make her hot. Yeah, sell some action figures.
Have you fellas seen the new DS9 doc? Yes, What You Left Behind or What We Left Behind.
Yes.
Did you watch that, Tanobi? That was I love that.
Yeah, that made me really sad. Yeah,
me too. I kickstarted it. I got the Blu-ray.
Did you? Oh, that's cool.
Hell yeah! I wanted to show my support with that. They're doing one for Voyager right now too.
Did that get funded yet or no? Or
I don't know if it's done or if it's still going.
Okay.
But they are doing it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
In time.
Yeah.
It is a great doc. That's absolutely right. Yeah, we did. Put up a post about it. So there will be, First Contact Picard. We're going to do like a season 5 Picard. We got Locutus and then Picard from Picard. So yeah, definitely a lot of cool stuff.
Somebody had mentioned the question too. Was it Pablo on the XO Picard chair?
Oh yeah.
I'm a little bit I'm just a little bit irked at the price point. I told Anthony, I'm like, that's a lot for the chair. Was it $300? What are you asking for the chair? Forgot. I remember it was expensive for a chair.
No, I believe it's 2.
Don't downplay it now, dude. It's at 300.
No, it wasn't 3.
Don't down. You better add some tax and shipping now.
I should know this.
I was gonna say now. Don't be. Oh, it's only 2. No, you better add some.
I should know.
Don't sugarcoat it. I don't like it when streamers be sugarcoating like, oh, it's only 200. Wait a minute.
No, it's the final amount's 195 plus 25 flat rate international shipping.
Okay, so it's a little over 2. Okay, you're right. So a little over $200 for a chair in a competitive market. Yes, I remember. I think I bitched to several people, and I remember telling them, like, that's a lot for a chair. That's a lot. And Anthony was like, but you'll be able to plug it into a USB plug.
I'm telling you guys, it's
so
cool.
I just, I'll get it. I didn't pre-order it. I'll find it somewhere. Maybe I'll find it. I'll get it. I just don't like expensive props like that. I get a little bit annoyed because it's incomplete, because I want a console. I want the 𝕄𝐻𝐻 computer system. Give me a turbo lift. Ooh.
You just want a recreation of the entire Enterprise in 1/6.
That's it. I want a holodeck. I want the holodeck arch. I want the turbo lift. I want 10 forward. Give it to me.
Yes, but you got to remember those are quite large. If we were really going to break that down in,
I would at least with 10 forward. I would want just a subsection, like looking out into space through like a window, or I wouldn't need all of 10 forward though, but at least a subsection, like a diorama display. That'd be kind of cool. Having a card playing poker with Q or somebody. Yeah.
Well, Rob was supposed to be here tonight, but I'm not sure what had happened. So you're stuck with myself and Denobi for the moment.
Yeah.
Probably next week if he can't get in here in a little bit. But you're absolutely right. And yes, he is not on
Oh, yeah,
Twitter
Star
as
Trek
well.
is blocked.
Yeah.
He is very vocal on Twitter.
Yes. 1/6. Yeah, I mean, dude, if we could, of course. It'd be too massive. I mean, people are out there talking about Hot Toys and how they want an Anakin Starfighter.
Need to calm down.
And that thing's so huge. Can you imagine having like the entire bridge of the Enterprise? Take your pick.
Yeah.
Even the Defiant bridge, or what if you had Ops of DS9? Oh my God, or the Promenade, or Quark's
the
Bar.
Promenade, Quark's Bar. There you go.
Like,
I'd
be all over it. I'd be all over it. Yeah, but you guys have to understand how large that would be. We'd literally have no room.
Yeah.
Carlito, yes, with the chair. Absolutely. I'm going to build the Enterprise D bridge in a huge case. It would be awesome, but it's going to be huge. I mean, like, think about that. Like, have you seen like the Hot Toys? They did a 1/6. Well, they did the Falcon, and you saw how big that was. I don't know if you had. It's a ginormous room, but they also had a 6-scale TIE fighter. It's like, yo, people are complaining about the Black Series TIE fighters. The Black Series was. They're like, dude, that's too big. Can you? And so it's like, I don't understand, dude. 6 scale is big. I mean, even something like the ecto-1 or the DeLorean or the Batmobile, like those are big pieces, and that's a car, and could fit multiple vehicles on the bridge of the Enterprise. Like, facts. So that would be tough. I'm doing it. It will be everything. Hell yeah. No, I think it would be awesome. I think it would be amazing. I absolutely do think it would be amazing. Sucks about the video. Sucks about the videos, guys. I can't really put that up. When can we get the team of Exo 6 on your show? We don't really do a lot of that. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. It's nice for what's going on. You want to meet Chicago this week? I will not be there, but I'm doing behind the scenes stuff. So, but we're gonna have a lot of really nice stuff to showcase this week in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, it is. It stinks that for me, and I know for you and many in the chat, like, it doesn't feel. Do you feel like they've just lost? You mentioned it a little bit earlier that perhaps it's just the writers, like maybe they. Is it fair to say they've never seen Star Trek, but they always?
It's not that hard. You can tell that they've never seen an episode of Star Trek because of the way that they portrayed the Borg. Something that I had missed that Red Letter Media caught was they don't know the history behind 10 Forward. And so there's a lot of continuity errors there. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. 10 Forward, why would she name it? They don't understand the history of what is something called 10 Forward. It wasn't because Guinan got it off of a street. Like, they talk about that. And
no, it's deck 10 at the forward of the ship.
Exactly. It's deck 10 on the forward of the ship. And you can tell the writers just never figured that out. It's like they were brought in on board and like, well, we got to make this exciting. We got to bring in some political awareness. I didn't care for the whole ICE subplot.
I heard about it, so I don't think I've seen it yet. Because that's later, right? I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. They go deeper, and Rios gets captured by ICE, and he's just being bullied. And I'm like, and then it gets resolved so poorly, and you're like, what was all that about?
Maybe trying to just kind of push in a political agenda.
Yeah. And I was like, no, that's not how Star Trek works. It's
no. I mean, they've done it in ways. I mean, like, to be fair, it was Things Past season 3 of Deep Space Nine. You remember when they go back to Gabriel Bell riots in 2024? I remember
that. Yeah.
Okay. But that was handled well. And that's another thing, right? Aren't they in 2024? But I don't even know what's going on, right? Because it's a different alternate reality. Because wouldn't Sisko be back in time with Dax, during that time? Because that's what they was. The Bell riots is 2024. But they did it right. They talked about, like, worker encampment areas for the homeless and things like that. But I didn't feel like in Deep Space Nine that was a very that didn't feel like what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I felt like that was a relevance of things to come, perhaps. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like they watched a couple episodes and they like, well, let's use some bit points here. Let's use the bit points there. Like the whole Gary 7 from the 60s Trek era. That like, no, I don't. I also don't like everybody that we're familiar with is playing different roles. Like Soji, like the little android girl from Picard season 1, and she's Brent Spiner's daughter, one of 𝕤𝔸𝔽𝕀𝔸𝔸's daughter, and it's just like it's so convoluted. It's just so convoluted. It's so all over the place. You're like, what are you guys doing here? This Star Trek isn't that hard. Some of the most simplistic episodes of Voyager 9 had the most basic story elements.
And they're phenomenal.
Yeah, I just don't understand what they're doing here, and they filmed season 3, and you know why, right? Because it's I think the only Trek that's holding an audience, even though we all know it's trash.
Right, but they're really playing on the nostalgia with it, though, for sure. But real quick, FigFate says, "Don't hate me. I've never once seen a single episode, movie, or anything related to Star Trek. It's all foreign to me." Nah, no hate, bro. I appreciate you tuning in and listening to us, though. You know what? I would encourage you to watch Star Trek. You may not want to go so far back as the original series in the 60s, if that feels too dated. But for me, I don't know if it's growing up with it, but Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, that is like timeless to me. It's like watching Star Wars just over and over again. It's just timeless. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I agree with Denobi. It isn't hard to get it right, but it's hard to find creatives that understand the IP.
It's just not. And then just like John Delancey, the actor that plays Q, he only did 7 episodes between Next Generation. Was it 7 or 8 between Next Generation?
Oh shit! I can name them, right? Well, let's do it. I can do this right now. Encounter at Farpoint, the first episode, right? Season 1, episode 1. Season 2, he was Q Who, which introduced the Borg, shot Enterprise out to the Delta Quadrant. He was in season 3, which I think was 𝕄𝔸𝔽𝐽𝐻.
No. Wait, was it season? Oh, that's right. That's right. The second episode is. You're right, because he.
Oh no, I skipped one. You skipped one. Hyde and Q, when he gave Riker the powers.
Exactly, because he promised. Because he promised Picard he would never be. That's why he had to trick Picard. I always keep my word. Remember, he had to for Q, he needed Picard off the ship because of Hyde and Q. So go ahead. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, so it's Hyde and Q. So I forgot there was 2 Qs in season 1. So you got Encounter Farpoint, you got Hyde and Q. Q Who in season 2. That's where they threw him into the Delta Quadrant, introduced the Borg. Season 3 was 𝕄𝔸𝔽𝐽𝐻, where he lost his powers. The Continuum took his powers. He became human. That's just full of one-liners. I love that one. Yep. Season 4, he was either in it or he wasn't, or it was season 5. I forget. And it was the Robin Hood episode.
The Robin Hood episode, yes.
I think it was season 4. I forgot the damn name of that episode. Yeah. But they do the they go to the Robin Hood, Sherwood Forest. Then there was True Q in season 5 with the female girl, right? The girl who was born a Q, didn't know she was a Q. Then you had season 6. You had Tapestry,
one of the better,
where he makes Picard re-choose his decisions in life.
Which is,
and then season 7, All Good Things, the finale.
And then Deep Space Nine was
one episode,
and then
season 1, episode 7, I think. Q-less. When he brought Vosh back. Punched Cisco in the face. Or Cisco punched Q in the face. Yeah. And that was it. And then he was in Voyager with
like 4 episodes, wasn't he? Or 3? Is it 3 episodes?
Well, he was in season 2, Death Wish, when the other Q wanted to end his life. They went through that.
Very well written episode.
I love that episode. They did the Q in the Gray. That's right. Where there was a Q Civil War.
Yeah.
And there was Q2 with his son, his real life son, played him.
Real life kid, yep.
And then I think that was it.
Yeah.
I think he was only
in. His son showing up was the last one, and then we never see him again. So yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Damn, so you just made me pull all that right at the top of my head.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's why. Did I tell you? That's why when Q slaps Picard, I'm like, like I don't think Q has ever laid a finger on Picard.
He
Ever.
hasn't. Well,
Ever.
I mean, he rubbed his ear in the morning in Tapestry when he woke up in bed with him.
That's right. Yeah. But he's never
no,
struck
he's never physically like
struck
hurt him,
yeah.
pushed him, shoved him, struck him in any.
Yeah.
It was always his mind. He's always like trying to get Picard to think outside the box, challenge his mind, open his eyes to new possibilities, things like that. He was never, he was a pain in the ass, but yeah, he was never physical with him. I was taken a little bit aback by that too in the first, was it the beginning of the second episode, right? I only watched the first 2 episodes, but yeah, he slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, huh.
And then he gets, then he loses his powers again. And you're like, what's going on here? So this is still don't find out the guy didn't know who Picard was in 2023 when she met him in the 1800s. So
Times Arrow part 1 and 2.
Exactly. But that was when Picard was captain of the Enterprise in that specific timeline. And Guinan was already living on Earth during the Mark Twain era. So because this is a different reality where humans have become kind of fascist and so forth, it would make sense that because Picard didn't have his Enterprise to time travel, I get that. I understand that whole situation.
Right, because it's not it's an alternate timeline, but now is it your typical fractured time where you have this is where we're on, and then these events are here. So now we're on this path, and anything that we know in TNG never happened in this
he never
timeline.
had his Enterprise. He had a death ship, which I forgot the name. In this, he's an evil general, and so I got that. The only thing that I did not understand was that Guinan just held on to this bar in San Francisco for so long, and it was already established that she was on Earth to learn about human culture and her travels and so forth. So that to me is where there's a continuity error here, because the Guinan that I know would not just hang out in a bar for 500 years or 400 years.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Where she wanted to meet, that was her thing. It's learning and listening. She was a race of listeners and learning about human growth and so forth. So that to me was, because I got the whole Mark Twain, fine, that timeline doesn't exist, but the whole being at the bar situation, that I did not like. I didn't mind the recasting either. To me, that was fine. It was a different actress playing Guinan and a younger. That did not bother me at all. I thought there was a lot more bigger problems to worry about than the recasting of Guinan, because people thought they were just going to do the CGI. I think no, that's fine. I like the younger actress that portrayed her and did a really good job. It was just being in a bar. Being a bartender for 400 years in this little San Francisco, part of the city called 10-4, that just like they don't understand. They don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think she would have been there like that either. Yeah. Q was also in the Borg video game in the 90s. Yeah, I remember the Borg game and then the Klingon game. Just the ones that were all full motion video. Those were great. Did you?
Oh, you don't know about that, do you? You don't know about the. So in an episode, episode 4, I believe, where maybe 4 or 5, it's one or the other. Q introduces himself to Brent Spiner's character, Dr. Noonien Soong, one of his ancestors, and he hands him a business card. And in the business card, it has his emblem Q, and there's a phone number. Did you call this phone number?
Of course I called the phone number. Okay. That was amazing. You've reached the Q Continuum.
The Q Continuum. Okay.
That was awesome. MandalorianHuntress, hello there. Says, "Bing me up, Nookie." That's right, Six Go Mafia. You know it. You know it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. I call. Here you go.
The Q Continuum. We are unable to get to the phone right now because we are busy living in a plane of existence your feeble mortal minds cannot possibly comprehend. Furthermore, it's pointless to leave a message because we, of course, already knew that you would call, and we simply do not care. Have a nice day.
It's awesome.
That's good. Bye.
I sent that to like all my friends. They're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Just call it." Yeah. And then they laugh. They're like, "Oh, that's awesome." Yeah. Yeah,
is
the Conqueror Picard.
Yeah,
or the Confederation.
the Confederation. I know they're trying so hard. I know.
I know.
They're like,
It's yeah.
It's no.
No, it's very hard. It is. And you're right. They can't keep to their own time travel canon.
Nope.
It's so weird, and Carlito's right too. It's always messy. It is messy.
You write it in plot holes. Yeah,
it does. I mean, look at Marvel with Endgame. They took the time travel route, and I don't know if that was their goal, because now they're doing the whole multiverse and this and this and that. So I'll give them a pass for Endgame, since they're actually going off that, and they're like, hey, there's multiple Earths. I get it. But it's generally always messy. It's always messy. Bugman says Guinan in 2024 was putting some serious time in LA Fitness.
I was wondering
about.
Yeah.
And I will watch the rest. I will watch the next 3 episodes. It was really more of just talking about Trek in general. I should get caught up to it. But I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen the last 2 seasons of Discovery either, but I don't really have
I don't ever intend to either.
The desire. But listen, I'm feeling hopeful for Strange New Worlds. And I know it's going backward. And now we have Pike, we have Spock, we have Number 1. They just announced Nurse Chapel, or Nurse Chapel, I forgot her name, from TOS. She's been casted. I don't understand why they casted a female who has something to do with Khan. Did you see that?
No.
So one of the cast members is, do you guys know? Anybody in the chat want to fill us in? So I watched a video a couple months ago where they did when Paramount put out this showcase of the cast of Strange New Worlds. So they each talked for 20, 30 seconds. I'm so happy to be part of this new show. Yada yada. This is who they are. And there's this girl, and I think it's Khan's daughter, who is going to be a part of the Enterprise.
For
Strange New Worlds.
Noonien Singh's.
Yes, from from Khan, dude. I'm gonna look it up really quick because I know I saw this. I'm not making this up.
Jason Streck says there's 2 Khan-related characters. Are we jumping? See, I'm already getting annoyed. Are we jumping the shark here? This is already starting to piss me off. What? Brother and sister, only one on the crew.
Let me pull this one up.
I'm only paying. I told you this. I'm only paying for Paramount Plus to watch this. And the minute it ends, I'm canceling the damn service.
Yeah. So here is Star Trek Strange New Worlds reveals unexpected Khan connection. They just invoked the legacy of iconic Star Trek villain Khan Noonien Singh. We don't need to run through all of this, but now a different Noonien Singh is poised to play the main character on Strange New Worlds, a series set during Captain Pike's tenure as the Enterprise captain. English actress Christina Chong has been announced as Lon Noonien Singh in the upcoming show. They talk about Khan a little bit here. Yep. Brought back, after the events of Space Seed into the Wrath of Khan. I don't really know. These are more theories. It's Khan's sister, daughter, or other close relative who went into cryogenic sleep. Augments like Khan had many, for want of a better term, superpowers. So I don't know. I guess they haven't really specified who she is. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. And you're right. The trailer's not bad. It gives me hope that they're going to be doing some standalone episodes, but I don't know. I don't know how they're going to roll with this, and that's my concern.
So this will the first episode debut when Picard is still running?
Because the first episode is May 5th.
Oh, Picard will be finished by then.
In 5 weeks, right? So yes, because now it's technically, in a couple hours, it's going to be April 5th for us. So 1 month from now, episode 1 of Strange New Worlds.
I hate.
You might be roped in for 1 more month or 2.
It depends, because I'm only keeping it up for Picard season 2, and then once that last episode airs, I'm going to cancel because I've installed Paramount Plus in the iPads and the downstairs TV. Nobody's watching it. I'm paying for a service that only I'm watching, and I'm paying for like 6 streaming services right now, and it drives me bonkers, dude. I hate.
I get that.
I hate it, and I'm like, I go the minute this last, I'm canceling it, and I know that they here in the family they all want to see HBO, and I want to see Peacemaker. I'm like, I'm not going to be paying for all. We're paying for Apple TV Plus. We're paying for the Apple damn service. We're paying for Hulu. We're paying for Netflix. We're paying for YouTube Premium. Now Paramount Plus. It's way too many services. I'm trying to just keep it at 5.
It'd be cheaper to just have cable again.
It was, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the first few individuals that I cut the cord almost 10 years ago. I was like, I'm done with cable, and I was like, I have a secret. It's cheaper just to stream this stuff, and then it just caught on. And you're right. When you do the math, it is more expensive than cable now.
It is now. You're getting everything.
It
Disney
never used
Plus, Hulu Plus, Discovery, and Paramount Plus, whatever it's called, Netflix, Amazon Video, Peacock for NBC.
Yeah,
everybody's got something. Everybody has something.
Yeah,
and they try to get it all spicy by saying, "Hey, this is our own exclusive show." Well, wasn't that just the same as network television? Okay, NBC had Seinfeld. That was a NBC show. So what are you trying to like? You're just pulling one over on us? It's like, I don't know. It is. It's getting so ridiculous. Have you guys watched the animated Trek Lower Decks?
I haven't. I have not. I know I have access to it. I don't care to see it. Are you watching it?
I watched season 1. I will watch season 2. I think it's very. You have to be able to enjoy animated shows, for one, and you have to know that it's very neurotic. It's very like Rick and Morty-esque, style. Yeah. But I will say, when I watched the first episode, I was like, oh my God, here we go. And I didn't like it. And then I watched the second episode, and I told myself, oh, okay, I need to understand the humor for this show. I need to know what the show is. And when I understood what the show is, it was okay. And I felt like the Lower Decks is the closest thing to Star Trek that we have seen since like Voyager and Enterprise.
I've seen that. I've seen people mention it to that, and I just don't watch TV as I used to decades ago. I think is when I cut the cord, because I used to be very addicted to just watching shows, and now I really just want to watch smart, good TV. And we've had a good few shows out there. I can tell you right now, Midnight Mass on Netflix was extremely good. I enjoyed it. Did you ever heard of that one or see it? Midnight Mass?
Well, I know you mentioned it, kind of a play on your Midnight Run.
Yeah. It deals with vampires, but it's written very, very well.
Well, I love vampires.
Yeah, it was vampires, and what's interesting is I never heard of it until Red Letter Media covered it. Like, they said, "Hey, this is a good show. No one's talking about it," and they reviewed it, and I'm like, "Well, I want to see that." If Red Letter Media says it's good, and I saw it, I'm like, "Holy shit, this is some good friggin' writing here."
I was like, check it out.
Very good writing. I want good, smart writing now. And then, if I'm gonna watch dumb shows, I'd like to go into it. And it's very rare for me to even spend the time to watch Picard, because I can just recognize, like, this is atrocious. Like, Patrick Stewart, you have final say on the script. Are you not reading these scripts? I don't get it. You're an executive producer, and everything goes through me. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're better off just hanging out as an admiral on board a starship then, because you're not being utilized to your potential here. I hate the actress who plays Soji. I hate the actress who plays Agnes.
I'm not a big fan of either of them.
Well,
for season 1 anyway. Like I said, I'm only a couple episodes into season 2.
Yeah, I don't like those actors. It's just the characters. Rios is okay.
He's kind of okay. He's kind of cool. He's kind of
okay. Cool. He's okay. He's a good actor. I
like the whole hologram thing about him, and being alone because he doesn't want to be around people he's going to lose. And
you know who I would love to throw out in airlock is Raffi. I can't stand the chick, Raffi.
I wasn't a fan of her either.
Man, if I could take her up to one of the Deep Space Nine pylons and throw out an airlock, I freaking would. She's not.
This isn't Battlestar.
Yeah, just throw her out. She's not. Well, first of all, she's not a good actress, and her character sucks, and her lines suck. 7 of 9. She's Jerry Ryan, so she gets a free pass. So
yeah, she's still, so the first 2 episodes, again, I'm only basing it off the first 2, obviously season 1 as well, but the most notably the first 2 episodes, she's doing a great job so far, and she feels like she's 7 of 9 to me. Especially in the season opener.
Let me tell you something. She's going above and beyond. I could see it, like she wants to make this work because she hasn't had, you look at her IMDb page, she hasn't been working. So she is going above and beyond. I think she's hoping for I know they had talked about a spinoff show last season of Picard. It was rumored.
Like the Rangers or something, right?
Yeah, it was a
something
rumor
like
then. And I'm like, oh,
the Fennis, I don't remember.
Yeah, they were. I don't know if she's gonna get it or not, but I know she's not phoning it in. She is giving her best. She's challenging that Star Trek Voyager 1998, essence. Like that's 7.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling.
Yeah,
the first episode especially really felt like it. Biggest positive in season 2 for me so far is the absence of profuse profanity. So they toned it down.
There was an F-bomb by Brent Spiner's character. He drops an F-bomb, but he was mad at Q, so I guess that's okay.
But it wasn't that whole like Admiral
Picard
type.
That was silly. Yeah, that was like, hey, we're on CBS All Access, so we get it. You can drop F-bombs and not get censored, but you have to know how to use it right.
Yeah, because like, dude, you and I we'll swear like sailors. That's not the point. It's not like we're prude. It's just with Trek, it's just that. Well, for season 1 for me, it really felt like everybody was picking on Picard. Some bumbling old idiot, and I was like, wow, you just totally like, you're pulling a Star Wars sequel trilogy. You just turned all our heroes into like losers.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I felt. And I was like, exactly. Dude, I guess they forgot Agnes did a murder season 1 too. I know. I don't really understand exactly, dude. It was like, come on, man, like, to me it wasn't.
And then they had that golden opportunity where 7 of 9 connects herself to the Borg in season 1, and they wasted it. Who would not have wanted to see?
That was my biggest letdown of season 1.
Like,
when
it's
she
right
took
there.
Control,
you could have made it
just airlock them. Talk about anticlimactic.
It was such a wasted opportunity. You could have explored that dark secret that she always had control, and she's always suppressed it. In the minute that she connected herself, that she had the free will given to her by the Borg Queen to become herself a Borg Queen, and it was wasted. It was flushed down the toilet, and I'm like, oh my god, like who would not have wanted to see 7 of 9 in all her powerful, threatening Borg Queen glory, and it was flushed down the toilet. Yes. Yeah. Well, they didn't. That was one of the things. Yeah, Borg don't need to breathe, which was freaking canon already from First Contact.
First Contact, when they're up on the out on the hull, the Enterprise, and
on the
Picard, and
on the deflector dish. Yeah, it's just
Damien Dark and Cisco or Cisco, just Picard and Worf, and the guy forgot his name.
Yeah,
the actor.
That's what makes the Borg. That's the thing. The writers that's what makes the Borg so threatening, is that they're able to adapt. They can adapt to their environments. That's what. It's hard to kill them, and
they're just sci-fi space zombies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't need an atmosphere. They just come at you.
Yeah,
and if they don't perceive you as a threat, they ignore you, which makes them even more intimidating.
Yeah.
At any given moment you can be surrounded by them, and then just they turn on you. And
oh man, Hey,
I
after
know.
I push Raffi off of the airlock, then the next one will be J.J. Abrams. He's next in line to be pushed out an airlock. Yeah,
Well, I mean that
we're
was
still
Star
feeling
Trek
the
and
effect.
Star Wars, man.
We're still feeling it's like,
Double whammy.
but I can make movies. No, JJ, you're getting pushed out the airlock too. No, I can make it. I've never seen a Star Trek episode. Like he was so proud of that too. So
I
freaking
know.
proud.
I remember that. It was like,
Remember that shit? He's like, I've never, and I think it's cool. I've never seen an episode. Like, what?
that's not cool. Like, but at the same time, at the flip of the coin, right? You had Star Trek Nemesis. Was that Brian Fuller? Who was that? I forgot who directed it, but he said he was a huge Star Trek fan. So he was like, rest assured, Star Trek Nemesis is gonna be great because I'm a diehard Trekkie. I know Trek. And then Nemesis kind of flopped.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, damn. I mean, what they should have done is just taken the golden guys. You know, they should have had Ronald Moore and Hewlett and Ira Stephen Bear, all these great writers that contributed to the.
He's still, yeah. He's talked about that. He's even Ira from Deep Space Nine. I don't.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Piller unfortunately passed away. You know, but I mean, they had this dream team of writers throughout TNG and then in DS9 and even to a finer point in Voyager. You know, with Jerry Taylor taking over, like there was some good. Voyager gets some flack, but Voyager still had some damn good episodes too.
Voyager had some really good episodes.
Really good ones.
Really good ones. The one
Blink of an Eye was probably my favorite.
Voyager.
Do you remember that episode? Yeah, in Voyager.
Which one?
It was Blink of an Eye. It was in season 6, I believe. And what had happened was Voyager had orbited this planet, and they got pulled into this gravitational pull, kept Voyager stuck in the planet's the gravitational pull. They were stuck there. They couldn't leave. And the more they tried to leave, they would be burning themselves out. But the planet rotated much faster than our real time. So in the beginning of the episode, they were like, you know, like cavemen, and the ground would quake because Voyager was messing this shit up.
That's right.
So they had earthquakes for centuries. So they had to learn to build on that, but their time moved so damn fast that eventually, within minutes in our time was like days in their time. And then they sent the doctor down there and they beamed him back up in 10 minutes. He's like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. He was stuck down there for like 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I haven't seen you guys in forever. And they're like, it's been like 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
But that was cool because they kept evolving and they had to build their whole society up because their world was constantly being hit with these earthquakes because of Voyager.
Every time Voyager would try to move out, and it would evolve. That's right.
So they built everything, like structure was like super, to withstand all these quakes. They could see
Voyager as a star. Remember that they could see it from their planet.
Yeah, they could see it, and then they eventually communicated with us, and then they flew in, and then they helped us. They helped Voyager escape because they outgrew them technologically.
Yeah,
and that was pretty cool, man. Like I was like, that's a badass episode. That's the type of shit I miss because I could put on any of these old episodes and just watch them over and over and over again. I mean, not like consecutively in a row, but you can always go back to these episodes and put them on. And I don't feel like you can do that with the new stuff.
Some of the better episodes too dealt with the Doctor and his quest for being real, which is the one where he was an opera singer and he was becoming famous. That was another good
Virtuoso.
Virtuoso was a good one.
Yeah. It was not okay. I wasn't sure. I swore the guy was a fan or something, but maybe he wasn't.
Again, one of the ones that I always go back to that was written really, really well was Death Wish.
Yeah, season 2.
That was written very well, showing that even the Q had its weak side, and that was a good one.
Timeless was really good when Harry Kim goofed up the slipstream drive, killed everybody.
The Hirogen, that 2-year where the Hirogen are using the holodeck technology.
The Killing Game.
The Killing Game.
World War II.
World War II, and
That's
then
awesome.
which is the one year the year of hell episode?
Year in
1?
Hell. Yeah, that was supposed to be a whole season. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that. Yeah.
But they didn't want to, as ahead of its time, I suppose. The
It
idea.
was ahead of its time, and then they were worried about its syndication plus the budget. It was one of the situations that even at the time I was watching Voyager, I hated that Trek reset mentality where the Voyager would get his ass kicked, and then at the end of the episode, well, we sent the team to repair it, and the ship was brand new again by the end of the episode. Where there were episodes where Voyager would suffer massive destructions, the hull breaches, and at the end of the episode, it was reset. And that always, even at the time, remember, like, this really bugged me. And it's interesting that years and later, it's like, oh yeah, we knew the fans always hated that. And I'm like, well, yeah, because like Year of Hell or the episode where every time the Borg always encountered a Borg ship or a drone or something, it'd always get his ass kicked. Even the episode,
and then they're all right afterward. It's like,
or the one that the fans say suffered the most. I mean, the ship was near shambles. It was the episode where Kes comes back with a vengeance.
Oh yeah.
And you don't realize that the ship is just being ripped from the inside out.
She's like Jean Grey. Like, from X-Men, just telekinesis ripping.
Yeah, and the ship is desperately trying to put up the force fields, and you're there. And I remember, I go, this ship is crippled. This would take years. I mean, this would take years of repairs, and I mean, like it's destroying bulkheads from the inside out, not damage from the inside in. Like you're compromising the structural integrity, and then everything is fixed at the end. You're like, what? And it's just, things like that, and the writers knew it, and they just hoped that the audience wouldn't notice that. I wouldn't notice things like that. But I always did as a fan. Even at the time, like this irks me. Like,
oh, it irked me too. It irked me too. And speaking of, as Jason Schreck saying, if wish Ronald Moore would have stayed on, seen more drama between the Marquis and Starfleet, and that's the thing. Like Ronald Moore went on to do that very same thing with Battlestar Galactica, where you're like, okay, Galactica's pretty messed up. They're on the run from the Cylons. How are they gonna repair this? How are they gonna do this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Battlestar Galactica. The first, was it 3 seasons? Oh my god,
4 total.
Which is the one, the first 3, and then when they're stuck on Earth, it is
season 3.
It was just like, what happened, right?
It changed
like
a bit.
Yeah.
The first 2 seasons and the mini series.
Oh my god.
The mini series was like a 4-hour movie.
Dude, I remember I had never seen anything like that before. That type of like, what is this?
It was amazing.
It was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It had like Dean Stockwell in it. It had that type of writing. I just like, what is
it was
that?
Ronald Moore, bro. I mean, he did most of TNG and a lot of DS9. It's like he knows how to write.
Yeah. I remember.
And I don't know what happened with season 3 and 4. I know there was the writer's strike and all this, and then there was delays, and they kind of changed it. I ended up liking the ending. I know a lot of people didn't like the ending of Battlestar.
I forgot. I forgot the ending, but I remember the last season was dismal. That's in my head. I did not enjoy it, and I forgot. I toned it out. What I remember was the first several seasons, I was addicted. Like, I need more Battlestar. I need more. It was just It was writing, it was TV show writing that up until that time I hadn't experienced since probably like the 90s, like a good science fiction show that hooked me on TV, not in the films. And I remember they took like a 2-year break. The show went like on a hiatus, and then when it came back, they were like on Earth, and it was weird. It was just, I remember like, what happened? Like
they were on New Caprica.
Yeah, New Caprica.
So they settled. Yeah, they settled, and then there was the whole Cylon rebellion after the occupation, and it was cool. But I am 100% with you. Season 1 and 2, they blew me away, dude. That blew me away. I was just like, this was so damn badass, and
even the music. I remember the music. I remember watching some of the
Bear McCreary. He's the composer.
Was he? Because I remember that was when iTunes had just started doing videos on their iPods.
Yep.
And I remember I bought like the whole season, you know, on iTunes on the little tiny iPod. And I remember, and I remember playing those episodes for the music, and I wouldn't even watch them because I loved that music. Like, this is really,
dude, it's badass.
It was good
Got
music.
that twangs and the drums, like that tom beat, and dude. Bear McCary went on. He did the music for Black Sails. I don't know if you ever watched that show. That intro music is phenomenal. He did the intro music for it's off like Treasure Island, as like Long John Silver, things like that. But it's like a R-rated pirate. It's a really good show. It's a really good show. But he did the intro music for that. He did the intro music for Walking Dead.
Oh.
So, I mean, he's amazing. He is amazing. We do have a couple here. Bugman said, sorry if you already discussed just getting off work. What's your favorite episode of TNG? Mine is The Inner Light. Season 5, episode 25. Beautiful. You remember The Inner Light. They get stuck at that probe. Picard gets knocked out and he lives that whole life. He has a wife, children, lives and dies, and he gets his flute. That was a really good episode. That's a really good episode.
You're gonna, I mean, it's gonna sound kind of cliche for me, but the best episodes of the Next Generation that I enjoyed, it's gonna be Tapestry. I really enjoyed Tapestry. It's one of the ones I just keep playing back, and then Q. I still, even though it's dated, I still enjoy it. There was a couple Worf episodes too. I ate up.
Well, yeah, anything
with Worf and his family and honor and you know and the way he treated his kid Alexander, which was embarrassing.
He's totally like a deadbeat dad.
He was a deadbeat dad.
Like, go on, boy.
You know, as an adult, it's funny. Younger, I didn't see it. I look at it now. I'm like Worf. Like, I thought you were my hero, dude. You're deadbeat dad.
Yeah, he could have. And then in Deep Space Nine, he's like, "Oh, my son, he's on the Rotenkin with us, and he's a bumbling idiot." And I'm like, "Well, who's to blame?"
Yeah,
Worf.
Yeah, I go. You're so.
He's just trying to impress his father.
Yeah, I know Klingon society. It has to be dishonorable to not put family first, especially like you're where with Martok, you're part of my house now.
I know, and then he's all smitten with Martok.
Yeah.
He becomes part of their house.
Yeah, and it was one of those things I think the writers just didn't know how to resolve because it had started Next Generation. Like, Worf, you're a dick, and we need to address a couple things.
Right. No. Yeah. I would agree. Anything like I liked, Redemption Part 1 and 2. Prior to that, where he had to do he got the discommendation. Took the blame because Duros's father was the one that did the traitor of and 𝐂𝐸𝐻, not his. All that was very cool. I loved all the Worf stuff, but I don't know if I have a favorite.
That's a tough one.
Because there's so many damn good ones. Obviously, Inner Light was good. Tapestry, I might agree with you. That might be the best one because it makes you reflect on your life.
Yeah.
As an individual, what if I did things differently?
Oh, dude, I can't even. How do I describe this one episode of Deep Space Nine where I was eating candies. I was eating some gummies, and I busted out bawling. It was the one where Martok has the actor from who played the Klingon in the 60s, and he was old and aging with dementia.
Kern or no, Korg?
Yeah. Dude, I saw that episode on gummies. I was a mess, man. I go the whole
that
messed me up.
It's not Once More Into the Breach, because that was I think later.
The whole getting old and not being and
he's like getting senile and like shields and calling bad commands and like.
And even Martok felt bad for him. Like, I can't even find pleasure in picking, because he was a legendary status. Like, he had these legendary Klingon battles, and the younger Klingons looked up to him, and Martok was really jealous of him. And I can go into battle, and even when Martok realized that I can find no pleasure in even picking on an old man, and then Kor says he says a quote, savor in your youth.
Yeah, for
because
beauty
it's
fades or something.
beauty fades or something like that. Yeah, and I saw that and just it like messed me up.
That was yeah, dude. I know.
I have to be careful. I have to be careful that if I'm zoning out, some of those episodes will destroy me. And I remember that was a lot. I'm like, I can't.
There's
can't.
I know. Yeah. Some of them do. They mess you up. You're like, damn.
Mess me up.
Like I feel that, especially when you're getting a little older too. You're like,
yeah,
man.
You look at life differently. And I was eating some candy. I'm like, oh, I can't do this again. I was a mess.
I feel it, man. Andre, what's up, man? He's in the chat as well. He says, I always enjoyed the Drumhead and Chain of Command. Drumhead was really good. You remember that one too, with the witch hunt with Admiral Sati and the Romulan. There was the kid who lied because he was birthed by Romulan and he didn't want to besmirch his Starfleet tenure because he lied on his application. But it wasn't about him. It was the Klingons and injecting some DNA secret codes in their it was all that. And she was just like going nuts, and he's like, no, this is a witch hunt, you're putting people on, that was really good. And Chain of Command, of course. Listen, I think Captain Jellicoe got a bad rep. He was the one that took over when Picard was captured by the Cardassians, remember? He's the one that made Deanna Troi wear a Starfleet uniform as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But he was by the book. I don't think he was a bad captain. He was just.
That's right. It was settled. That's right. That he was by the book. You're right. That's right.
He was. He made the Cardassians wait. He's like, yeah, let him wait in the waiting room for an hour. And he comes in and they get all pissy. And he's like, you sit the fuck down. He's like, that one. He's like, I'm going to make him sweat. He's like, I got to have, he was a by the book dude. And he saved Picard. Let's not forget that either.
Yep.
So, I mean, a lot of people shit on Jellicoe.
That was when Riker, him and Riker butted heads, and
and
then you look at it now, decades later, like Riker, you kind of sucked.
He was being kind of bratty. He was used to the Picard treatment, and
you're kind of spoiled, and that's why you don't have your own command yet.
It's a bit. I'm actually friends with the kid that played Alexander on TNG. He used to play guitar in a sick ass punk band. Dope, man. I know there was a couple. One of them passed away. I know that. But there were two. He's probably the one you're talking about.
Did he pass away, the kid that played Alexander?
Well, yeah, because there was two Alexanders, and I think the younger one from TNG passed away.
Oh.
I think so. At a later time, of course, but I don't remember the specifics. Okay. Every time the Klingons send someone into the afterlife with that scream, yeah. They did remember they'd like, oh. Yeah. I loved it, man. There's some DS9 episodes that really messed me up. Yeah. Absolutely, dude. Only a Paper Moon. Yeah, that's when Nog is trying to deal with the coping of his leg, right?
Yeah.
The loss of his leg from the siege of AR 558, I think.
I can't watch that under enlightenment. No way. That'll mess me up.
I do, Bug Man. I do. I am a Star Trek encyclopedia, man. I swear to God. All the stuff with Nog and Rom and his reasoning for wanting to join Starfleet. Yeah, I mean, dude, they all had phenomenal episodes. I couldn't even pick. Like, it's so hard.
And that's what kills me with this new version of Trek. Why they're bringing it's not all these actors are still well and loved. You can save a fortune, Paramount. They're not working. They all would love to jump at the opportunity to reprise their roles. All they're doing is Trek conventions, selling their autographs for $100, $50. So
right.
I just don't understand. That was something too that really bugged me. I remember telling the story with Don Prime from Geeking Out when we were at the at New York Comic Con, and then I saw Kate Mulgrew. And Don Prime was like, you should go get her autograph. And I go, I can't. I go, I grew up watching this lady, Janeway, and just seeing her down the path. It really messed me up. Plus, to me, it breaks the illusion about pain, because it was like $150 for an autograph. And they're just, to me, it's not the same. And I get it. That's how they make their living, but it was like $150 for her autograph, and then if you wanted a photo with Kate Mulgrew, it was like another $100. It was like almost $300. Don Prime paid $300 for Shatner, and I go, no, I saw all of these guys in the 90s during Trek conventions where I was paying 10 to 20 bucks for autographs.
I have a picture.
Yeah.
I swear I have it on my phone. I would have to look.
I have a photo. Yeah, and it's crazy because I used to collect all those autographs from Trek conventions back in the 90s. I went to the NASA, the Kennedy Space Center, Star Trek convention at the Kennedy Space Center, where I got the autograph from 𝕄𝔸𝔽𝕀𝔸, Garrett Wang. There was like in 1999, there was like a Trek convention at the NASA Kennedy Space Center because they had just opened up one of their newest wings with the Saturn V. And I remember going to that, and I remember paying like 10, 20 bucks. And I go to these conventions. I always visit a trade show, and you see them all there. They haven't worked in decades, and they're all charging $150 for their autograph, and if you want a photo, and it kills the illusion, dude. For me, it really
does. I'm trying to find in my phone. I have Dominic Keaton. You know, he played Lieutenant Reed on Enterprise. He was the British officer. His family was always like in the Royal Navy, so he joined Starfleet. I don't know how much you remember so much of Enterprise. It was Reed, Ensign Reed. You know, he was the British guy.
Mm.
Well, at any rate, I can't find the photo on my phone right now, but I met him in Pasadena, California. It was the 2002 Star Trek Grand Slam convention. Damn, dude, it was 20 years ago now.
20, yeah.
And he was there. So Enterprise season 1 just wrapped, because Enterprise, I know I'm not that crazy, guys, but seriously, Enterprise aired September 25th, 2001.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
it was during the 9/11 year. I remember that.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a week after Voyager ended, which was Endgame. And I remember that. It just so happens I had an ex-girlfriend. Her birthday was September 25th. So it aired on her birthday, and I remember that. But anyway, so season 1 was the only thing that aired. I drove down to California to go to the convention. I met him. He didn't charge me nothing.
Yeah.
I walked up to him. We talked for like 15 minutes. We just talked. And then I was like, yo, I can get a couple pictures with you, man. And just took a couple pictures. And I had lunch with some Klingons. It was a blast. I mean, like, it was fun. I went all 4 days. But you're right. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I have John Delancey's autograph too, by the way, from 1996. And I didn't pay for it. Now, I paid a ticket admission for the convention, but John Delancey did not charge me for his autograph. And I remember that. This was like 95, 96. I also went to the Magic Kingdom sci-fi convention they had either 95, 96, where I got to see Leonard Nimoy. I got his autograph for free. I don't know where it is, but you know who was at that convention in 95 or 96? The Doctor from Lost in Space. It was one of his last, the Doctor from the 60s Lost in Space. Mr. God, I can't think of the, Robert Harris. God damn,
maybe. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, the old the Doctor from the, and I remember Leonard Nimoy was. I tried looking for it. I remember I got his autograph for free. Disney was doing like a sci-fi convention at the time for one of the for like the new Tomorrowland had just opened up. But I just remember in the 90s and even the early 2000s going to a lot of these conventions. And the autographs were never outrageous. And then
it was never this exuberant amount or anything like that. And
the last Star Trek convention I went to, I was disappointed, was the one in 2018 for here at the Rio for Star Trek here in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And I didn't enjoy myself. I remember I took a nap. I remember Shatner spoke in that panel. He was rambling about bullshit and I fell asleep. I remember that. He rambles about it's just
yeah,
and I remember I got like a few Star Trek little tchotchke little souvenirs, and everybody was there, and Robert Picardo was there, and he had his bodyguards, like if you're caught taking a photo, they'll ask you to delete it. So Robert Picardo was there. I remember he was charging like $75 for his autograph, and then like $50 for a photo. Jake Sisko was there. They're all there, at the Rio Star Trek convention, and they have like the autograph little booth there, and you can see them all, but you'll get in trouble if you take their photo. And to me, it's just a turnoff. I don't I know there's people out there that love collecting autographs. I'm like, I don't see any.
Nah, I was kind of when I was younger, but a little changed a bit. But I like Andre's comment here. He said these boys are an encyclopedia. I feel like Crusher. He's talking about Dr. Crusher from Remember Me. Remember that season 6?
Yep.
When I try to recall his stuff.
Dr. Smith.
She's like, Doctor, you know, her guy. She's like, you guys don't know them. And then remember that everybody kept missing and missing because Wesley's experiment just, you know, it was like, she's like, we're on a ship and there's only 12 people here.
That's right.
Like, people make it. They're like, it's always been this way.
It's always been this way. Yeah. No, you can't run it. You can't run.
No,
a ship.
I love that. I love that.
Can't.
You know, so you've been in Vegas. I visited Vegas frequently. Do you remember? They closed it down. The Star Trek experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've gone, I assume?
I went to it. I even went to it the last year before it went. It was 2008. And I miss it dearly because it was
cool, man.
I didn't appreciate what it was when I visited it the last year. So I'll share something with you. The only reason my very first trip to Las Vegas was in 1998. And I came out here specifically to visit the Star Trek experience because 1998 is when it opened up. And it was to visit the Star Trek experience at the height of Star Trek fandom was something that is just, it's hard to describe.
It's a lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. I didn't have a lot of money. I saved I remember working overtime at work and I wanted to come see the Star Trek experience. And I flew out to Vegas, my very first time in Las Vegas. I did the Star Trek experience. And it was, they had the museum, the shuttle adventure, the simulator shuttle, and then the promenade. Folks don't understand, like they built part of Deep Space Nine's promenade there. They had Quark's bar,
Quark's bar, all the drinks,
the drinks, and then a lot of people don't even
dressed up.
Did you do the Voyager attraction, the Star Trek Voyager attraction?
Was it the Borg 4D?
The 4D Borg, yeah. Robert Picardo was there. Kate Mulgrew reprised her role.
Very cool stuff.
Such a missed opportunity. I mean, that they put so much money into that. They had the museum. I miss it. I look at it now, and I didn't take as much photos as I should have because now there's people on YouTube that they've created what we call timeless videos. These are video segments that
trapped in time
that will never go stagnant. If you could create a timeless video on YouTube, it's a video that will always get views and it will always generate income. And I have a few of them on my channel. And I regret, in hindsight, I had good cameras at the time and I never saw the full potential of documenting that whole experience and taking nice photos and stuff like that. And a lot of people did. And it's one of my biggest regrets because we had just moved here in 2006 and it closed in 2008. And I didn't see the value. I see the value now. I didn't see the value back then, and it's one of my biggest regrets because that's gone forever. So,
I think I went 2008.
Did you?
It was the last year.
Yeah. Was that your first time?
That was my first and only time.
Wow.
Because my mother had moved out there around.
So you understand the significance of it.
Absolutely. I did not want to leave.
Yeah.
My mom didn't understand the appeal, but that's just how it goes with if you're a Trekkie and someone else isn't.
There's a few videos on YouTube that will document different eras because the Star Trek experience in the late 90s to what it was in the end is completely different. They had changed a lot of the museums, the ride, a lot of things, even the models that were hanging from the ceiling. A lot of it had been cycled through. And and you read the comments, and the comments are like, "My God, I thought it was always." I remember I read a comment from somebody. I thought it was always going to be there, and I never thought it was under a timed situation.
No, I didn't think that either. I don't know if it was the lease because it was at the Las Vegas Hilton, right?
It was at the Las Vegas Hilton, yeah.
Yeah, and then
it was expensive to run, and the attendance was starting to drop. At that point in time, we didn't have a Star Trek movie. It was not Star Trek was falling out of fad. And
yeah, because Nemesis came out in 2002 or 2003, right?
Nemesis was 2002.
JJ's was 2009.
Yes, and then the popularity skyrocketed, and they had it was because the attendance had dropped. There was a license and lease issue, and it was right in the heart of the bust of the recession. Remember the 2008?
2008, right there. Everything just plummeted.
So people weren't. Yeah, there was, and if they could have just kept that open for one more year, they could have capitalized interest, because the J.J. Abrams 2009 film did rejuvenate it for the next several years in Star Trek. And so it's a shame that it was such a missed opportunity by almost 1 year. There's just people who've mentioned that. It's like, yeah, there was just no money to keep it open. There was just because it was licensing, and yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. I'm glad I got to visit it.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I got to experience it once. Yeah. I stayed all day. My mom went off to like MGM Grand or something, and because they had the monorail over there, so I just took the monorail to the Hilton, and I was just like, see y'all later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play in Star Trek land and just soak it all up, and it's such a shame. At least we both got to experience it, but it's a shame for others who haven't. And you're right. It's like, you can see those videos on YouTube that are like strolling through New York in the 1930s.
It's crazy.
Things like that are just timeless. You can always go. That's what we need. We need like.
Yeah. I never took videos. I have photos. I have old Kodak.
I had a couple photos somewhere, but it was.
Yeah. And I have photos from like my very first visit there, even from 2008. And I remember going back to my old photo albums. I'm like, these photos aren't even. Like, I really didn't understand what I had the opportunity. It's just crazy. You look at it hindsight, like, man, I really missed this. Like, this really sucks, because it was really they had the music, they had the giant models hanging from the ceiling. It was it makes me sad. I miss
it. Felt like you were a DS9.
Yeah. They
that's
built
the basic way to explain it.
That's the basic way to explain it. They built a part of the promenade there. It was cool. It was cool.
So good. And I haven't seen anything like it since. Now I know there is the fellow in New York, right? He's rebuilt I think is that what you're talking about, Jason's Trek? I don't remember, but there's the guy in New York. He's built the original series set, and I don't know if this is who you're referring to, if they're adding the TNG expansion to that, but that's cool being able to go there. But then it's more like a little tour, whereas at least with the Star Trek experience, it was more than a tour.
Where's that at? What is that a state to go? I've never heard of that.
I don't know. You're gonna have to let me know, unless that's what you're talking about in New York. But I don't know. There's one in New York where that guy built it. It is okay. He said
Is it that one? Is it the one that the guy built? Is it?
Yeah, which is awesome. So if they're doing a TNG bridge, that's gonna be pretty cool. But again, it feels like, at least with the experience, like you're there, you're having food, you're drinking, you got Romulan ale, you've got Kanar, root beer. It was awesome. It was like, it was so cool, man. And again, the Borg 4D stuff, the attractions. It's just unfortunate that happened. I would die to be able to experience that. I didn't know it existed. It was amazing, bro. It was amazing. It was very cool, especially being a Star Trek fan. And it's gone. I mean, and they do have, like you said, the convention in Vegas every year too. That's a pretty big convention, and those are fun. But there's nothing like going there and like hanging out at the promenade and just kind of soaking it all in, because everybody who goes there goes in there because they like Star Trek.
Yeah.
So it's neat. You can talk to anybody there, and it's Vegas, so people come from all over the world to Vegas in general anyway. So then you got these people coming who are also Trekkies. So it's really cool, man. Oh man, it's a shame that it's gone. And that's the stuff that we miss, I think. Why would we be so attracted to something like that? Well, because we really loved Trek. And now I feel like that's kind of, well, we're both like, not even really too interested in the new shows. Haven't watched a couple seasons of this, not caught up on Picard. I'm just not interested. And it's like, damn, I missed it. Can you drink some Kanar with Damar? I don't think they had Cardassians there, but they did have people dressed up. They had pretty good makeup. You did have aliens there. It was pretty dope. It was really cool, man. They had Dabo girls, if I recall.
They
it's neat.
had an actor dressed as a Ferengi, a Klingon. They had the Dabble girls there too. It was really cool. It really was. The Vegas thing was like a Galaxy's Edge before Galaxy. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Kind of on a
There
smaller
was real
scale,
gambling there. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know.
was real gambling because it's Vegas. I mean, you're in the Hilton. Yeah, man, wouldn't that be something? That's what Paramount needs to do. They need to get some kind of lot and build a Galaxy's Edge for Trek.
Yeah, but which Trek though? The Kurtzman Trek?
Do it all.
That's the problem.
No, because I wouldn't want a Galaxy's Edge that's Kurtzman Trek only.
Yeah, I don't. Do you want a photo and a signature from a Michael Berman impersonator? Or
no, I do not. Yes, Lita.
I don't care for any of them. Even no. I just no.
No, just do all of it. Just encompass everything. Let's go with the 23rd century. The original series.
I even hated that whole tardigrade.
I didn't like that idea either.
That was so stupid.
The tardigrade and the spore drive.
And you're like, what the hell is going on here? And
not a fan. That's why I stopped watching it. Watching it.
I'm surprised you made it that far. I got, I think, 3 or 4 episodes, and I said, nope, tap out.
Well, I was hanging out with a friend. We didn't watch it weekly.
Yeah.
So season 1 was wrapped. And then, so I watched the first one. Obviously, you have to watch the first one. You have to watch the pilot episode. Because you're like, oh, it's the first Star Trek since Enterprise. Okay, let's go. Let's see what this is about. Yeah. I was like, what the? Okay. So I watched part 1 and part 2, the pilot. And then I said, whatever. And then I waited for the whole season to finish. And then we watched it. But I'm going to tell you, bro, I was like kind of hanging out. My buddy, he was chilling on the floor. I was chilling here on the couch. And I was like, just kind of checking Facebook, looking at the TV. I just it just couldn't hold me. And then I did the same thing with season 2. I was like, all right, let's bank it. And then let's watch all of season 2. And I was a little excited because I enjoyed Pike. I thought Pike was cool. I think Anson Mount as Pike was a great addition. But that's why I'm kind of hopeful for Strange New Worlds. But that's the only thing that kept me going in season 2 was Pike. That was it. I liked Pike. I know, but I liked Pike.
Yeah,
because it felt like Starfleet. It felt like Star Trek with Pike, but he was not there all the time. So you got 10-15% of Pike, and the rest is Discovery schlock. So that was difficult. That was difficult. That was difficult. But so I'm hoping Strange New Worlds is good. I don't know. And the problem they face as well is it's serialized.
And this is where I don't believe these streaming services where they tell me that Discovery is the #1 show on CBS All Access or Book of Boba Fett is breaking numbers. Because they're not under the Nielsen ratings watch, I call bullshit on a lot of this stuff. I just do. I don't believe any of it.
There's no way.
I don't believe any of it. You need to find a Nimoy autograph. It's got to be worth. God,
it might be somewhere.
It could be. Maybe I'll look again because I found the autograph for Rene Auberjonois and he passed away. I even have Garrett Wang's signature. He's Ensign Kim, and I got him to sign the Playmates action figure. I even have John Delancey's autograph in a Playmates figure.
Judge Q or like Captain Q?
It was Starfleet Q.
Nice.
And speaking of that, XO6 better make a Starfleet.
It's pretty demanding, I know, right? It's divisive because I love Judge Q.
Yeah, I'll buy
him. Also like a
Starfleet, but Q. That's not the Q most of us think of him. He's an impersonator. I want to be part of Starfleet. Picard.
Right.
That's his shtick. Not.
But it's nice because TNG started and ended with Q.
Yeah. Oh,
so it's a great way to launch it as the judge. Now imagine, and I'm not dropping hints here. Seriously, I'm not. But imagine if we had his chair. I would like that. Judge Q in his gowns, sitting on that chair.
That giant floating, that arm.
That is,
type,
yep. Just have it on like a not like a spring, but
it was
some
like
type
on a
of
gimbal
elevation
too, or something. Yeah,
something.
Little kangaroo court type.
All
cute.
about it. Yep, all about it right there. The recipes for the drinks from Star Trek Experience are out there online if you miss them.
Ladies,
I had a cooking with 𝕬𝔸𝐿𝐼𝐻 cookbook. I don't know if you ever saw that. That's a real thing.
I lost it. I had an actual hard, not like a soft paperback of the Rules of Acquisition. They printed that, an actual softbound Ferengi Rules of Acquisition little pamphlet. I remember I bought that off of like Barnes and Nobles decades ago. I never framed the autographs. He's asking. I never became one of those. I collected autographs in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I never saw the value of collecting autographs. And I'll explain why. Because in the early 2000s, I got into eBay, and dealing with autographs, you're always going to be called a liar. It's always going to be your word against theirs. And
I saw him at a convention. How do I know it's not a forge?
Exactly.
You know.
And then you could invest to have it certified and checked, and then you're spending $89 to have it certified, realizing that you've had an autograph verified by Stan Lee, and it's only trending $50 on eBay. So
right, exactly.
Because Stan Lee signed autographs from the 60s on, millions of autographs. He always get so. And I get it. There's collectors out there like, well, you have to go after the hard ones that never sign, like Harrison Ford. He is a grail of an autograph, and I've always known that. Like, if you can, you have to almost capture him like a Pokemon. And what I mean by Harrison Ford, and I'll explain what I mean by capturing his autograph. Where Harrison Ford will never do a trade show, he'll never do a convention, but if you capture
Star
him,
Wars.
Yeah, if you happen to capture him walking out of a restaurant and you're there with, let's say, your old mother and a camera, and you're grilling him almost by a trap, then he'll most likely give it to you out of guilt. That's what I mean. He's one of those. I'll share a story with you, and when I first went to Japan, running out of time. This is my last Trek story because I'm getting tired. When I went to Japan in 2004, it was my very first time visiting Tokyo, Japan. It was one of the best trips I've ever had. I traveled there with my sister, and we stayed at this really nice hotel, really cheap, with Priceline. Priceline.com had just launched, and we had gotten that hotel.
And William Shatner advertised that.
Yeah, that's right. And
I'm just saying, I remember that.
Yeah,
the Trek.
So exactly, that's what Priceline became. So when we were checking into this hotel, I forgot the name of the hotel. My sister goes like this and like, look, it's Patrick Stewart sitting over there across the lobby. I go, huh? I go, holy smack! It's Patrick Stewart in Japan, and he's sitting there reading a book in the middle of the lobby. My sister recognized him, and I didn't. And I go over, wooed and smitten. And I go there. I go, hi, Patrick, I'm a big fan, and I'm there. I'm the stereotypical. My sister's behind me, just like observing, like a Vulcan, and I'm there, like, oh, that's awesome, man. I'm doing this, and I go, can I take your picture? And he goes, oh no, no, dear boy, I don't do photographs. I don't do, I go, can I have your autograph? Oh no, I don't do autographs. I don't do. Dude, that broke my heart. I go back to my sister because she was still checking in at the front desk, and I go, what happened? I go, he won't let me take his photo. Well, you should just take it. I go, I typically would, and I told her I would have stolen his photo, but now that I
asked him, now you're gonna be a dick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I go, if I knew he was gonna be a dick about it, I would have just stolen his image because he's in Japan, and I can play the stupid dumb American.
I'm in Japan tourist,
and then what kills me about that is that because we were there in that hotel for 5 days later, we were there for 2 days later. I went to the computer room. They had a business computer room, and he wasn't computer savvy. And the son of a bitch came to me and asked me for help on how to log into the computer and how to enter. How did you work this terminal? And I'm like, well, Patrick, this is how you do it. And I'm there showing him, and he's sitting there across the room in the business room, and I'm thinking, no one's ever going to believe I ever met you because you won't give me your autograph and you won't share your photo, and all I have is my sister, but that can vouch for me. And later I realized why he was in Japan. He was there working. He was doing voiceover for a movie, an animated film, Steam Boy. He was there for voiceover work for an animated studio. I forgot the name. It's not Ghibli, but he was there for voiceover work for Steam Boy. I don't know if you've ever seen this film. Great animated film, Steam Boy, and he played the professor. He did the voiceover work, which he still does voiceover work. So little fun Patrick Stewart voice. I did get to see him. I never got his autograph. I never got his photo. And he was kind of like a dick to me. I'm kind of like Will Wheaton with Shatner. You were mean to me.
Right, like I remember that. You were mean to me.
You were mean to me.
All right. Yeah, LeVar Burton was kind of a dick to me, but that'll be for another day.
You got to share that. I got to hear that. Yeah, we got to share. Yeah,
I've heard nothing, but I mean, I've heard a lot of people were really nice to him.
You know who was sweet to me in person, but maybe it was because of a convention. John Delancey when I met him, and he let.
I've heard he's always just nothing but delightful.
He made me feel like he was awesome. He was awesome. Yeah, can never say anything bad about John Delancey. Cute. Let me take his photo, autograph. He even posed. He even like touched me, like put it. I mean, it was just
right. But I choose you.
Yeah, well, I choose you.
Oh man,
that's the only way. That's the only way for Harrison. I'll have to tell you I probably told this story. The Cowboys and Aliens San Diego Comic-Con with Harrison Ford. He was a dick on that. Yeah, that's another story. We'll have to.
Yeah, some of them are kind of, it's hit or miss. And that brings you back to your point. It's like,
yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes.
Yeah. James Doohan, sweet gentleman. My father got his autograph at an opening of a video store. James Doohan was all about the people. And I remember I was a kid, and this is during the Wrath of Khan. I remember this, and I forget shit. I remember that my dad took me to a video store's grand opening. James Doohan was there, and he was giving away free autographs, and he was promoting Wrath of Khan on VHS. This is at the height. This is like this movie. It was already in theaters, and they were all on fire, dude. Dude, they were untouchable. Like everybody from Star Trek. They were
like the Beatles.
They were like the Beatles that year. That was just the way it was described to me by my father. It was like, you don't understand. They were hot shit with the Wrath of Khan. It was, and it kept in, it stayed in theaters in certain states and in theaters. It kept playing for like 8 weeks straight. Like Wrath of Khan was huge, was a big deal. It was really, really, and then they all did Star Trek 3 and went to.
Yeah, it all kind of dipped down. I liked Undiscovered Country.
Love Undiscovered Country.
With the Klingons. I liked that.
I'm even embarrassed to say I enjoyed 5 when they were out looking for God.
The Final Frontier. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that movie. But it's it's to each their own. I mean, I get it, man. I get it.
That's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, Star Trek 5 is one you don't really want to advertise, but when no one's looking, you'll push play.
You'll put it on and be like,
you'll put it on, and then you'll fast forward to Shatner. What does God need with Starship?
Right. Did you guys talk about the remastered motion picture?
I want to see that. Is that out yet? That's not out yet, is it?
No, but I know Rob. Robert Meyer Burnett, who was not here tonight. He'll probably be with us next time. But he had screenings, so he sent me the picture. I don't remember the date, but it could have been now. But yeah, he's going to see it in the theater. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm sure maybe you are.
I want to. That's one of the things too. I still have Paramount Plus is to finish Picard season 2, watch the motion picture because it's remastered. It's 4K with new special effects. They cleaned up a lot of the effects, so I definitely want to see that.
They're giving it the toss treatment like they did with the Blu-rays.
Yeah, yeah. If it was, I don't think it's playing anywhere in Vegas, but if it, because I know Robert was mentioning that in selected cities, it is getting a theatrical run, which I think is cool. So, yeah.
Hey, Cash, what's going on, bud? Yeah, it is. It's I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
Miles Dyson's also in here. Hey, guys, we're probably gonna wrap here in a minute, but it's really cool you guys were able to tune in. We do, we're West Coast, so we're doing a little early for us. I know it's later for everybody else, but so the even movies 2, 4, and 6 and First Contact are historically the best. I'd have to agree with that statement, right? Wrath of Khan, Voyage Home, and Undiscovered Country, and then First Contact, with the exception of Nemesis. Wasn't really the best. I didn't like Insurrection either. I felt like it was just a longer TNG episode. Insurrection was not my favorite. First Contact probably, and Generations was good too. It's out now on the 5th. Oh, so it should be up now, 𝕄𝔸𝕋, I think.
The motion picture? Okay.
Or sometime soon, you know, on the 5th. It's an hour for us. I don't know exactly when it premieres on Paramount Plus, but
I'll watch it tonight. I'll put it on now after we get off. I want to see it. Release date. I'm looking for the date. I can't find it. Oh, you're right. It is today. Oh, look at that. It is the 5th. No, I'm sorry.
In 45 minutes.
So yeah, I guess
So I don't know what time it would.
They don't give a shit. They don't. It's motion picture. It's probably on there now. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tom Hardy. Yeah, he was. That's right, Joe Mama. Tom Hardy was Shinzon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It stopped any pattern of goodness after. Yeah. Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
Premox. Yes, it's one of my biggest regrets. Look, I have a lot of regrets in my life. I'll always admit it, and I should have taken his photo. Because now there is no such thing as privacy. Anybody, if Patrick,
right, we just do it now, willy
they
nilly.
don't give a, yeah, there's no. He was very curious, and it was my first time in Japan. It was in Tokyo, it was New City, and the customs and everything. But I tell that story to everybody, and they're like, "Why did you should have?" I'm like, I should have been a dick, and I should have like, screw you. I pay a lot of money to see your shit. I'm taking your photo. So yes, I
helped you with the damn computer.
Yeah. It's
grab his hand and just scribble it. But get away from me.
Yeah.
I have a scribbled autograph of Patrick Stewart. I assaulted him in Japan, took his picture and fled. That would have been a story. That would have been a story. Doug Anderson says this was a great stream and now one of my favorites. I'll stay up for this even though work is in the morning. Please tell me this will be a regular show. I think it will. I think we will. But, Trek is awesome, guys, and not enough of it to go around. Blackbird Tech as well. Great stream, guys. Do more of these. Both you fellas rule. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got plenty of Trek to talk about, man. Good or bad, new or old. Anecdotes, history, all that good stuff. It's just, I love Trek. Love it or hate it, man.
I just miss it. I miss it, and I get emotional about it, and it makes me sad. And I have money to throw at it, and I think they're idiots. I'm like, look, here, watch. I'm telling you, look. I mean, right next to me, off the camera, there are the ships. I'm not making this up. It's not.
Well, let me look at them. Let me look at them real quick. I'm gonna before we bow out. Let me see what you got here. Okay, so you got Voyager. You got 𝕄𝔸𝕋. You have, is that the Defiant next to Voyager?
That is a Defiant, yeah.
Above it, is that the Enterprise? No, that's not the Enterprise.
That's the Enterprise B.
That's the B. I was going to say Enterprise B. I wasn't sure if it was Enterprise B or the Excelsior. You get the original, or is that the A or the original next to Voyager?
That's the A.
The A? Okay, and that one's up there is the B. In the rear back there, is that the C with the blue nacelles? Like the teal nacelles? I don't recall.
What is that over there? That is the Reliant from Wrath of Khan. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I don't want to unplug the can. Here we go.
Nope, I see it. The Daedrix too, the Romulan Warbird.
Let me see. Here you go.
Oh, yeah, because I haven't seen these. There's your Defiant.
Yeah.
The Galore, that's the Galore or Kelden class Cardassian ship.
This one, you talking about this one right here?
No, that was Voyager, right? That was the experimental,
the
Prometheus.
Voyager, the Prometheus,
Yeah. from Hope and Fear season 5.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Borg. You got the Borg sphere. Got the Ferengi. I know the name of that damn ship. I have most of these, the Eagle Moss ones.
Yeah.
Most of these are Eagle Moss, right? Not all.
Yeah, these are all. These should all be Eagle Moss, except.
So those are the XLs.
Except the Hallmark exclusive. That's now a Chase. This one. Hold on. Let's see if I can. That Enterprise there is a Chase right now. That's a Hallmark Gold Crown exclusive. Right there. That one right there. That's a cool one. That is
cool.
That's it was only a limited year run 5 or 6 years ago or something like that.
I have a ton you can't see up above here. I've got about 30 Eagle Moss ships.
Yeah.
I'll have to show sometime when my camera's like mounted.
I actually have more Eagle Moss, but because I ran out of space, and so it's limited right now. In fact, here, let me see if I can hold on.
Yeah. Well, Bugman says, great talk, Anthony. When are we getting Ferengi or Locutus or Borg Queen? I can only say stay tuned. Chicago.
So
Chicago, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Hallmark one is my favorite right here. This is one of my favorites here. And
that's an older one too, right? Like you're saying they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, they don't make this one anymore. It was a Christmas and here we go.
Oh, like one of the ornaments.
Yeah, the ornaments.
Yeah,
Hallmark Gold Crown.
Oh, it even lights up.
Yeah.
Oh, the deflector array and the warp nacelles. I like that.
Yeah. This was I regret not buying because I want to say I haven't checked on eBay, but I know it was an Extreme Chase one. But isn't that cool? I figured
that's really cool, and it fits.
I had it in the Christmas tree, and then I got when I did a price check on it, I got spooked because the kids at the time loved playing with the Christmas ornaments, and I would never ever tell my kids never to play with any. My kids can play with any of the stuff in here, and they used to when they were smaller. They would come in here and they would play with stuff, and I never scolded them or anything. That was part of the treaty that I can get the stuff, and if I'm ever caught scolding any of the kids playing with the toys, I would get in trouble.
Right. Yeah, and you can't break the.
Yeah, so they would come when they were kids, and I always had special figures. So when they would show up, it's like, you guys want to play with these hot toys? These are the less valuable ones. You can play with those. Like the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, and
All right, go ahead and play with this over here. I've got some
or
First Order Stormtroopers.
Yeah, that way if she ever showed up, it's like, you better be letting them play with your toys. Oh yeah, they're playing with.
They're playing with all the C-list ones.
Yeah, all the C-list.
Right.
And they're huge on Christmas, and they would play with the Christmas ornaments, and I panicked. I'm like, oh my god, if he starts playing with this, I go, I'll lose my shit. So I just took it away. I'm like, it's not gonna be.
Yeah, no, that's off limits. We got to put it away. Right. Did you see the Hallmark Storyteller series where the ship and crew interact?
Yes,
in the
that's
Mirror episode.
I'm not a big. Yeah, I'm not. I never got into the '60s Kirk. I know what he's talking about. I love Kirk and gang from the cinematic motion picture. I tried. I could never get into the '60s Kirk, so that was never my shtick. I tried. I don't like it. I just don't. But Kirk in the film, Kirk and Aurora and Chekhov and everybody, I always loved it. So.
After 1 second.
Yeah, and then this is I love my. You guys have seen this, right? You guys have seen my pad, right? Right, here you go. Look at this thing. A little custom pad there. You know what's cool about this is that you can. Let me see if I can. Hold on. So hold on. We're gonna raise.
I'm sorry. I'll bring you right
back. That's all right.
There.
I'm showing them while you're getting ready. I'm gonna show them the pressure builder.
I love it.
Is that cool?
Yes.
All right. Now, I've increased the pressure to the intercoolant mixing chamber. So I'm going to create an I'm gonna create a warp core breach.
Uh-oh. We got a coolant link, everybody out.
There you go.
It's awesome, dude.
It should explode. Let me see. That's it.
I love it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is so cool, dude. Hey, brother cousins, what's up, man? How you doing, bud? Very cool, great stream, guys. You wake up middle of the night, bud. Take care of the baby. Tune in.
Say, yeah.
Yeah, we're about wrapping. I love Mass Effect the same amount as you guys love Star Trek. I love Mass Effect just as much as I love Star Trek as well. We'll talk about that another day. The tablet, another Trek convention or invention, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They did so many. I wanted to show you guys before we leave, since you were talking about mirror episodes and things of that nature. So I grabbed. I just took it off the deal. I guess I can full screen for just a second, just so you can see. So this is the Enterprise from the Mirror Darkly episode of season 4.
Oh.
So the Terran Empire, the ISS Enterprise.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys remember this episode or not. This was at the end of season 4. And to accommodate, I've got the Defiant. This was the Defiant that got lost. They got from the original series, and it was sucked
that's right. In the Tholian web, right?
Yeah, in the Tholian web.
Yeah.
This is what they were. This is where they find this. Now this is 100 years more technology than Enterprise. You know. So Mirror Archer takes this over. And he's like, "Look how powerful I am."
Yep.
He's like, screw the the Terran Empire. I've got this tech ship. Now the cool thing is these are both 𝕄𝐺𝐽, but this guy glows in the dark.
It does?
It does. It's a glow in the dark 𝕄𝐺𝐽 Defiant.
They're speaking of supply chain issues, I haven't gotten my subscription for my Enterprise subscription because I'm building the Enterprise D that full. And I reached out to 𝕄𝐺𝐽 and they're like, hey, I haven't received my latest subscription. They're like, oh, we're backed up on the whole supply chain issue. We're falling behind. Yes, so forth. We know that you are due the next subscription. We apologize. And so it's not just hot toys. It's everything that's coming out of China.
Everything.
Yeah, and I enjoy building I'm building the 𝕄𝐺𝐽 Enterprise, and I'm like, it's been over a month, and I'm like, man, this sucks because this subscription is going to take 2 years to build this Enterprise, and I'm falling behind by a month already. And I'm like, come on, let's keep these kits coming so that I can build this damn thing. And it sucks. It's everything. It's
they got me roped on that whole ordeal too with the subscription, and I gave up on it because they kept sending me like stuff I already had. And I wanted to do the subscription because it was like after 18 months or something, you get the Borg cube. And I was like, that's the only way you can get the cube? I was like, I could just buy it on eBay and not have to pay it.
Yes. Yeah, there's certain ships that you want, and they don't make it easy for you to skip it. So, yes, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
So I wasn't a big fan of that.
So I did it for about a year, and they just kept sending me ships I didn't care for, and they didn't make it very convenient. And then I took a break, and then I saw their Enterprise subscription, and it looks cool. It is die cast, and so far I'm happy with it. It is expensive because it's going to be over $2,000 once you complete the stupid subscription. People don't realize that. I remember when I reviewed the Ecto-1 from Blitzway, they're like, "Oh, the 𝕄𝐺𝐽 is better," but yeah, but the 𝕄𝐺𝐽 is more. The 𝕄𝐺𝐽 will be over $2,000 once you're done building the 𝕄𝐺𝐽 Ecto-1. Versus at the time, the Ecto-1 from Blitzway was only $1,400. So
right.
But I mean, it's the Enterprise diecast. So, but yeah, it just sucks. Everything is just falling behind. It's annoying, dude. I'm over it. I'm over the companies just doing stupid shit and everything falling behind. And I'm just telling everybody, just be on yellow alert. Just be careful out there because you don't know if some of these companies may not be around this year. We're kind of getting better here in the U.S., but over there, it's a different story. And a lot of it's being suppressed. A lot of the updates are being suppressed. And
no surprise.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I guess on that note, we're gonna wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed us talking and our musings and ramblings of Star Trek. We'll do some more. I don't know if we should. We'll figure out what we'll do for the next one. Maybe we'll talk about some DS9 or something, or maybe just Voyager and some more, anecdotes. And
catch
things
up with
of that
Picard
nature.
though. You can spend 2 hours just dealing with Picard drama. The season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll watch it. And of course, in its entirety, when the season's done, we can talk about the whole season too as a whole thing. How's the paint on the Build Your Own Enterprise?
It's good. It's good. The quality is good. The only issue I have right now that's irking me is that I'm about a month behind, and this is a 2-year subscription. So I'm trying to accelerate it. And I don't like, they
need
know
a quantum slipstream drive.
Yeah. Right.
That's done right now.
Yeah. And so when they start the subscription, are they going to send me the next 2 kits, or they're just going to, we finally got the kit that you are great, but I'm now 1 month behind because I should have gotten actually it's in April and my last kit was end of February. So it's a little over a month now. Yeah. It's that bad. It's the supply chain issue, so it's not just Hot Toys. It's, and I don't know if you follow Hasbro Mattel, but Hasbro customers are getting fed up with some of their pre-order. There's some Hasbro action figure pre-orders that have been delayed considerably. So
it's a whole worldwide issue.
Yeah. So we think it's just about us and our Hot Toys, and I kind of keep an eye on the other, factions of toys, and Hasbro is dealing with their own drama as well too. So
they are. Single songwriters in the house too as well. What's up, man? He said, imagine a series based on the life of Khan. Indeed. Nicholas Meyer wrote a Khan miniseries that Paramount is sitting on. Okay.
Be interesting.
Well, they may do something like that.
Yeah.
But that's something we can talk about another day. We're 2.5 hours in, but let me tell you what, guys, before we wrap, if you guys enjoyed this content, not only give it a like, subscribe if you already haven't, subscribe to Denobi as well. His link is in the description below as well. But comment on the video, man. Let me know. The comments really help. If you guys are really into this and you want me to see more of it, let us know in the comments, definitely. And yeah, man, you guys have a great rest of your night. It was fun, and we'll be doing this again. So hope you fellas have a great night. Catch y'all in the Alpha Quadrant. Absolutely. That is a great way to end it. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Or live long and prosper. There we go. There you go. You guys have a great night. See you later.